Hi everyone, this is Jessica L'Whor, and I'm here with Ask a L'Whor. This is my 22nd Ask a L'Whor video here on YouTube, and I'm very excited. I've been absent for a little bit on social media and on YouTube, and so I'm really happy to be back with some new changes hopefully in the future about how I'm going to be doing these videos. But it's been a little bit and I've had questions kind of built up. People have still viewed videos and commented, and so I want to keep doing this. Again, my goal is to have 100 subscribers by the end of the year, and we'll see how that goes. Moving right along into questions. My first question is, if you had to put a male celebrity in drag, who would it be, and what song would you have him or her perform? I don't know him or her, but male celebrity. Anyway, what would I have this male celebrity perform? I would really want to see something absolutely ridiculous if I were going to do anything. Like Larry King would be like this like brittle old woman and have her perform the Golden Girls or something like that. If I could think of, I'm trying to think if I wanted to see something like sex appeal, ooh, like Ryan Reynolds, put him in drag and not even worry about his face or anything like that, and have him do like a Britney Spears song where he's just like getting dirty, like S&M, oh, S&M by Rihanna. Have him do something naughty and disturbing and just sexy, be too focused on his body anyway. Yeah, those are the first two that come to mind, Larry King and Ryan Reynolds. Obviously, I'm not very creative today, and I have the weirdest people on my mind. But yeah, those are the songs that I haven't performed to. Or I'd have, like, an absolutely ridiculous, like, Emeril Lagasse. Anybody know Emeril Lagasse, or Lacrachi is what I used to call him, on the Food Network? Bam! That guy. That would be so fucking hilarious for him to be put into drag and perform like the Le Poisson song from Little Mermaid or something just something food related. They did a Adele spoof version of Hello, but with food, and it's so freaking hilarious. So it'd be really funny to see him do that. Next question is, who is the biggest or most famous drag queen in Denver? Okay, I think this is a really valid question. Again, I have to go into categories. So when I think of like famous or biggest drag queen, the first that comes to mind is Nina Flowers. Nina Flowers is, if you look at anybody in the drag scene, is the most famous drag queen. She was on RuPaul's Drag Race, season 1, All-Star season 1, internationally known DJ, is booked around the country regularly, is famous in her own name and brand. But she's also in like a whole other category than every other queen or performer here in Denver. When you look at drag queens in Denver that are famous, I think of queens that are getting booked regularly out of town, or that have won certain titles, or are continuing to get recognition and followers from all over the country. For instance, Mariah Spanik is considered a famous drag queen, I think, in Denver here, is in the biggest shows in Denver, is regularly booked all over the place, is well respected. Felony Misdemeanor just won the title for Best Drag Queen in Denver for this last year, is in every show, it has a huge, tremendous following, and has been in the scene for so many years. So when I think of like famous or the biggest drag queens, those are the first people that really come to mind. Janessa Be Fierce was one of the most famous, and is still named one of the famous drag queens in Denver. Even though she's retired, or she's just kind of doing it every now and then when she feels like doing it, she's considered a famous drag queen who kind of set the scene for so many newcomers. And yeah. So I would say those three are the first that come to mind for biggest or most famous drag queens in Denver, that have endless potential to continue their career, and it will only get better from there. Not to say that there are not many other queens or performers slowly getting to that level, but yeah, we can only hope. My next question is, I've always been obsessed with doing drag and cross-dressing. Okay. And I'm interested in doing male drag, and I was wondering, how do you do it for your first time so your parents don't find out? My mom's not so happy with me being gay, so if she finds me doing drag, I'll be fucked. Any ideas or suggestions on what to do? I think I'm like the perfect person to to ask this question about, or ask this question too. So in the 5 years that I've identified as bisexual, last 3 months that I've identified as gay, I'm not out to anybody in my family or anything like that. My parents have no idea. When I go home, I'm a completely different person, head to toe different person. And I just recently came out to my other sister, and my one sister knows as well. So that's baby steps. But with the drag thing for the last 3 years, they also don't know about drag. And even recently coming out to my sister, even though she had assumptions that I was gay, had no idea about the drag thing. So how have I been able to hide it? Even when I lived with my parents 3 years ago, or I'd go and stay for a weekend or something like that, and I wanted to do drag, I would literally hide stuff in the back of my car. So I was very fortunate to have a car, and I would get ready in my car in the parking lot of where I was going to go into. So I remember being in the parking lot of Tracks in the little mirror, getting ready to go inside, and then I'd do my makeup however I could, and then I'd go in. And before I'd come home, I'd make sure everything was off. I'd come home at an hour, and I'd always try to rush upstairs and go to the bathroom immediately, and things like that. In terms of hiding it, just be very cautious. So if you're planning on spending money online, being careful who has access to seeing those accounts, where it's being shipped to, if they're going to send coupons to that address. There's a lot of tracking that needs to be involved when you're trying to hide the fact that you're doing drag, especially when you're connected to your parents, you're living at home, you have joint bank accounts, your shipping address is there. So when I was in college, I was moving addresses so much that my parents' address was my main address that I put on everything, and I had to completely open a new banking account and debit account. I had to get things shipped certain places, and making sure that I canceled within a certain amount of time so they didn't get any kind of promotional coupons or things for past purchases. And so just really making sure how invested you want to be in this process, and into what lengths you're willing to go. Hiding things in your car, or covering up, always having makeup wipes with you, trying to stay at a friend's house or make plans or arrangements so that you can have a safe place to go home, so that if you're just not ready to come out to your parents in that sense, then you have that, are things to think about. A lot of tracking involves, and as your career continues, or you find that this is something you're very, very passionate about, you might feel more comfortable opening up to your parents and letting them know that this is how it is, and maybe it'll change how you identify, and maybe it'll just be a job or a hobby or something that you like to do, and you can have that conversation then. But mainly, just be very cautious. If you're really committed to making sure that they have no idea that anything's going on, track and think about what the next step is, and be proactive in your planning for a night out or anything like that. Make some friends and get ready at their house. Get ready with them. Find a family that makes you feel safe or comfortable. So those are some of my advice. If you have more specific questions, send me some comments. I really like those. I still have another question from a while ago that I have yet to answer, but I want to make it an entire video, and it's some tips for up-and-coming queens that I think would be my top 10 tips, is what I'm going to call it, on what I think I'd like to see for up-and-coming queens, or advice that I'd give to up-and-coming queens. I'm painted, though, and I'm ready to go to the Queer Lives Benefit over at the Metro Truvali Center. So if you are out tonight, come and check that out. It's always a good time. Last year was phenomenal. It's all about inspiring a younger audience of what gender bending is about, and getting the community together, especially in this time that we need to be together as a community. And so it's really awesome. Come check it out. Otherwise, find me on Instagram at @the_l.whor. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Find my like page on Facebook. Go check out dragqueenmerch.com and buy a L'Whor t-shirt if you'd like to, or tank top. And yeah, I'll see you next time. I'm going to keep up with these videos, and you can hold me to it. Ask questions below, and I'll see ya. Bye!